As an international student moving to the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, you shouldn't be moving to North Cyprus with the intention that you are going to go to South Cyprus, all right? Because at the end of the day, South Cyprus may look somehow better for you, but I want to guarantee you that it is not going to be easy for you. See, any country that is located in the sea, which is not in the developed nation, is a very big problem, all right? International students, take note about this. It is very important you note this down, all right? Because I have been receiving a lot of messages from international students asking me if they can move to North Cyprus and go to the south. First of all, I cannot encourage such things because it is illegal and anything can happen to you at the border. Now, let's talk about living in Cyprus as an international student. I will be giving you some honest tips I think that can help you, all right, if you intend to migrate to North Cyprus, or if you are living in North Cyprus, Northern Cyprus, that is the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, as an international student. All right, please guys, if you are new to the channel, my name is Milton Fonkwa. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe below. If you haven't liked this video, please like the video for us. Thank you so much. It helps us get visibility. Thank you. Now, I will be talking about living in North Cyprus. I will be talking about tuition fee in North Cyprus. Thus, it will encompass tuition fee, working permits and working in North Cyprus, living expenses and living in North Cyprus, inviting families and accommodation, everything that involves North Cyprus. It's been long I produced a video about Northern Cyprus, and today I am back again to talk about some of the things that you may encounter or you have to prepare your mind before you move. First of all, before you think of moving to Northern Cyprus, remember universities in Northern Cyprus will ask you to pay a tuition fee deposit. All right. Equally understand that Northern Cyprus is located south of Turkey and east of Greece in the Mediterranean Sea. There is no way you can run away from Northern Cyprus because it is surrounded by the sea from Lefke to Guzeliot to Famagusta to Kyrenia to Nicosia. All right. The water is too much. Now, equally understand that to study in North Cyprus is not that expensive. Looking at the United Kingdom, looking at Canada, looking at Australia, looking at New Zealand, these countries are extremely expensive. And if you are an international student, you want to migrate to North Cyprus, remove the notion from your brain that you are going to work full-time and pay your tuition fee. Please remove that from your brain right now. If you haven't been watching my videos, please watch this video till the end and make sure you share to one person. Yes, I'm just giving you my honest opinions or honest things that I know. Again, equally understand that as an international student who want to migrate to Northern Cyprus, the spring semester of 2023, and which is the semester that is going to start by February ending or at the end of February, is already on. Admissions is already open. So if you need an admissions, please check the video description box and get to me. Equally check the booking list. If you need a one-on-one consultation with me, please contact me. There is a link below. So much for understanding. Now, tuition fee in Northern Cyprus. Let's talk about tuition fee and how you can fund yourself. If you intend to migrate to North Cyprus, make sure that you have someone that will be paying your tuition fee for you, or you have a source of income that you can pay your tuition fee. Please take this very seriously as I explained to you. You cannot work in North Cyprus and pay your tuition fee. That is a fact. Now, in as much as I want to get an admissions for you, help you migrate, I have to educate and tell you what you don't know. People never told me this, all right? I'm explaining this to you because I've been there. And again, remember that in Northern Cyprus, you cannot, like, if you enter North Cyprus today to get a permit, it is called a student permit. You cannot get permanent residency except you live in North Cyprus for at least 7 years plus, all right? Northern Cyprus, I mean, I'm not talking about South Cyprus. Now, equally understand that you may not even get what is called the working permit, all right? It is somehow illegal for students in North Cyprus, but you can work, all right? If you find a job, you can work without any disturbance. Nobody is going to disturb you, all right? In North Cyprus, I mean, nobody is going to disturb you, but you can work. Instead, if the officials are caught, let's say if the police come to where you are working and notice that you are a student and you don't have a working permit, they are going to charge by your employer, all right, the person who employed you. That is the irony in North Cyprus. So I was working without any working permit, all right, And again, where can you get some of these jobs? Construction sites, supermarkets, not even supermarkets, because mostly at times in the supermarkets, only the Pakistanis and the Indians and the Turkish people, they are allowed to work. I really don't know why, but most of them will dominate in the supermarket sector. Now, if you want to work in the hotel, you may work in the human resource department in a hotel, and you have to know high level of the Turkish language. All right, when you move to North Cyprus, please try to know the Turkish language. A lot of people don't know these things. I always explain this to people and they take it for granted. I had to learn Turkish the hard way. And how did I learn it? I was learning from YouTube and trying to speak to people in school again in the Turkish language. So it is also very possible for you to try to learn the language. It is not going to hurt you, all right, but it's going to help you. Turkish helped me a lot to work with the Turkish people because they don't speak English, all right. If you are opportune to talk to a Turkish person one-on-one, and if you know the Turkish language, everything will be perfect. Again, if you know the Turkish language, you can easily communicate with them and you can easily get a job, all right, in North Cyprus. So these are some of the things that you need to understand. Again, if you know the Turkish language, it is easy, like I explained earlier on, to interact with these people, all right. I was working with them. It was easy for me because I knew the Turkish language. So now, coming back to the tuition fee is paid in dollars and euros in Northern Cyprus. If you didn't know, please know it now. And when you work in Northern Cyprus, you will be paid in Turkish lira. And one Turkish lira, I really don't want to mention it again because it is now terrible. Please, the inflation has affected the country a lot. So you can easily check. If you want to migrate, please check very well to see, because the lira has lost a lot of value. I do not know as of this point, it finally gained value again. I don't know, but I'm still going to check. So know all of these details and know that it is going to be difficult. Please get a sponsor before you migrate to North Cyprus. If you are finding difficulties getting visas to other countries, then I would say that North Cyprus may just be the country for you. But remember, you have to start from somewhere. Make a move, then you continue with your journey, all right? But remember, to move from North Cyprus to another European country, you must go back to your home country if you want to migrate with a student visa, all right? The reason is because most embassies in North Cyprus don't offer student visas to international students. In fact, there are about 7 diplomatic missions, German embassy, that controls Denmark, Netherlands, Austria, maybe Luxembourg or Norway, I think so. Then Italian consulates, British High Commissioner, American embassy, or American officials. I think there are about 6 or 7. But they don't give student visas to international students. They will either refer you to South Cyprus or to Turkey. And when you go to Turkey, sometimes it still becomes very difficult. You have to go to your home. So the best thing is go to North Cyprus, study, get your permits, come to your home country, apply for your visa, and you go elsewhere. Because the permits in your passport will now permit you to maybe succeed in one way or the other when you are trying to move to another country. I hope you understand. So these are some of the things. Tuition fee is in euros or dollars, and your work will pay you in Turkish lira. You are only going to be paid per day. They don't pay per hours. They don't know hours in North Cyprus. Know these things today. All right. Living expensive. Now, living expensive in North Cyprus. When I was in North Cyprus 2018 to 2019, sorry, 2016 to 2019, it was very easy to cope with a budget of at least maybe 250 Turkish lira a month, all right? But now you cannot. Just cooking gas alone, I was told, is approaching 100 plus. So you cannot. I think you with 600 euros now, 600 Turkish lira now, you can cope. You can manage with 600. Maybe 700, 600, 700, 800 Turkish lira, you can manage. But with 300, 400, you cannot in North Cyprus now. Remember, you have to pay internet, you have to pay electricity, you have to pay gas, you have to pay water. This is excluding your accommodation, all right? I don't even want to talk about that except very soon. So all these things, you cannot succeed now before you fit again, all right? So you need at least 700 Turkish lira to feed per month. You can convert this money to your own local currencies. I'm just explaining so that you can understand. Again, equally understand that if you want to work in Northern Cyprus, you need a, let's say if you, when it comes to the work permits, all right, what I noticed in Northern Cyprus is that work permits sometimes will not be given to international students. Remember, I'm talking about work permits and not the student permit. The student permit is a certain carton, like I don't remember the color is somehow maybe green in color, but the work permit is something yellow like this. All right. So sometimes they will not give you, they don't even give working permits to, except that few blacks are getting work permits now in North Cyprus. But before, they will not give you a work permit because they understood that blacks, when they come in to North Cyprus, they want to leave as early as possible. All right. So giving them the permit, they are the one to produce the permit and they will spend their money. But at the end of the day, if you abandon the job and you run away, they lose a lot. They are calculating a lot. All right. So mostly that was what my boss used to tell me, that they don't like giving permits to blacks because, except that they really see that you have worked with them for long and they have seen that you don't really like moving. You are not like in a haste, you understand, to move. So they would then produce the permit for you. You go do the medicals at the hospital, then they pay the other documents, they pay the stamps, then the permit will be given to you. All right. The permits, of course, they used to do it in your passport. That is, it was stamped in the passport before, like a visa, but nowadays they have a card that they will give you for the working permit. That is how the permits are. If you are a student, you can work freely, nobody will disturb you, but the officials will blame your employer. But if you are not a student, it is going to be difficult. The best thing to do is to get a permit. All right. I want to tell you that you equally, maximum you could make in North Cyprus in 2016, 2019 was around maybe 90 euros, 120 Turkish lira. Not 90 euros, sorry, 90 TL, 120 Turkish lira. That was then. Anyways, things have changed a lot. Inflation affected the country. Some people are earning maybe 190 now. Some are earning 200 Turkish lira, not euro, not dollar. Please pay attention to this. All right. So the working permit in North Cyprus is very important. Yeah, people are getting the working permit now. A lot of people are getting it, so it is not an issue. If you think you can cope with the system, then speak to your employer and tell them to produce a permit for you. I was working with Pakistanis, but they were under a working permit. I was a student on a student visa, student permit. I hope you understand. But the worst thing to do in North Cyprus is not to produce your own permit. Please don't do that. Make sure you have your student permit as a student, all right? Because when you want to leave, that is when you will know. When you don't have a student permit in North Cyprus, you cannot go to any other embassy to apply for a study visa or to apply for a visa, being it study, tourist, business, or whichsoever visa. Even the Turkish embassy, you cannot apply for a Turkish visa to Turkey if you don't have a student permit in North Cyprus. All right. And remember that when you are in school, there will be, if at the end of the day you are on instrumental plan payment, and if by the end of the day or the end of the semester, as the installment plan is expiring, you haven't paid the remaining balance, your tuition fee will be multiplying. All right, the euros will be multiplying. Maybe before you pay, you have accumulated like 30 or 40 euros extra, which is something I was facing a lot, but I struggled and I pulled through. Then living, I already talked about living expensive, right? Everything has been skyrocketed. Is it skyrocket or skyrocketed? Anyways, English is not this thing. Now, if you want to invite somebody to North Cyprus, inviting a family member, inviting your husband or spouse, then you need to be legally married. Then if you want to do that, you have to go to the legal officials at city center in Kyrenia, or I think go towards the city center in Nicosia. Then they will tell you the things you need to bring, maybe your marriage certificate, your student permit, and some other documents for you to invite your husband or spouse. Remember, now Cyprus is visa free. You don't need a visa, all right? But if you can get a transit visa, make a stop in Turkey, it is advantage you because it will make your passport to be heavy and bulky. I hope you understand what I mean by heavy and bulky. Then that is the invitation part. Remember, you cannot invite anybody. You can only invite your husband or spouse. A lot of things have changed. Those of you asking me if you can leave Europe and come to North Cyprus. Someone asked me if they can come to North Cyprus with a Schengen visa or a visa from the EU. Or, for example, the person is in Germany. He was asking me, if you go, the truth is that if you try to enter North Cyprus now, they will block you, all right? They have blocked a lot of people. There was somebody who left, I think, UK to come to North Cyprus and they blocked the person. I don't know if finally they came in, they entered, but you can go to Turkey, all right? If you have an opportunity and you want to see someone in North Cyprus and it's difficult, let the person apply for a visa to Turkey, then you guys meet in Turkey. That is my advice. But again, will it be easy? That is the thing, because nowadays I was told there are a lot of visa rejections for students who want to move to Turkey. So I don't know. Please just make sure you follow due procedures, all right, and everything will be fine. I wish you well. For those of you who want to apply to study in North Cyprus, please check the video description box and make sure you verify everything. Until we meet again in another video. Peace out.